Hello, everybody. Welcome to World 101 Podcast. I am your host, ADV. Joining me is the lovely, the great, the awesome, amazing, the red velvet Northern Peace himself, Mr. Larry Giver.
We've been recording all that shit. You mean that? You know that means I have to go back in and edit and cut that shit afterwards, right?
You know what? You the one that told me to start recording.
I know I'm fucking with you.
You know what?
None of that shit you guys will hear, but just to clue you in, it means that we were just talking about the fact that my hot water heater's been broken all week. So that's it.
I hope
nothing important.
I hope that you keep the stuff and like you can somehow cut it, and when we don't have a week to record, you do a straight bonus episode of just the outtakes, and just have like you can mix everything in. They'd be like, "Is this the podcast?" Like, yeah, this is so.
No, it's completely all uninteresting shit. So
you know what? It's still interesting.
Anyway.
I bet you if you mix it and you put it out like on the day that we just don't record because we just got too much stuff to do and we tired, just put it in for 45 minutes to just be like volume 1 of World 101 Podcast outtakes.
Bullshit.
Right. So.
Oh God.
But how have you been, Larry?
Holy hell! It's been a nightmare week. I've been playing responsible adult homeowner.
Oh shoot!
It's been fucking terrible.
Yes, I've been continuing my podcast whoring, so it just is. Yeah. Oh,
you dirty slut!
Can I tell you now? It jumped from 6 podcasts last week and then this week it will be 7 or 9 podcasts this week that I'm recording.
Oh God.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you other good news. Some of the tax money that comes in is going to go towards getting a decent sound setup, like a reasonable microphone, nothing fancy, but at least a reasonable microphone. So we'll up the production quality just a little bit.
Yay.
So I promise I'm actually investing something into the show for the 5 people that listen. Which reminds me, I'm pretty sure we're up from 3. I think we're up to 5 now.
Well, I posted today, at the time of this recording, the AM2R thing, episode, and, you know, people have been listening, and so hopefully we get more listeners, and I've been telling them, you know, Shout Engine is the place to go to for this, for everything. This is just, like, in case if you don't have Shout Engine, don't know where it is, in SoundCloud it's available, or iTunes, till we get the iTunes situation thing together.
Shortly. It should have been up by now, but that's entirely my fault. iTunes rejected our listing because of something stupid, and I went back and I fixed it, and I totally misread their email saying that I thought it said that they would just re-review it in like 5 business days. I completely missed the part where they said that I had to resubmit it completely. And so that got done yesterday, so I'm waiting for them to re-review my resubmission. But it should resolve the issue, and with any luck, by the end of this week, we should be on iTunes, finally.
Okay. Yay. Yeah.
So, here's hoping. Fingers crossed.
Yay.
Cross your legs, too.
Well, you know I can't do that.
But anyways, so yeah, other than that...
what you been playing? If you have.
I have been playing a couple things just sporadically. Been playing a little bit of She Remembered Caterpillars.
Which is that the we're doing a review of that Wednesday?
Yes,
correct?
That review is coming later this week. Adrian is actually doing the review for that, and that brings us to another thing. We will actually have a small bonus episode later this week because Adrian is finally getting it together and is going to be on an episode again.
Yeah.
He has not dropped off the face of the earth completely. He does still live and breathe. But Adrian's working on the review for a delightful little puzzle game called She Remembers Caterpillars. We'll talk about that more on Thursday's episode that we record Wednesday night. But yeah. Keep your ears peeled. There may be a giveaway related to that at some point in the near future, too. But you guys will actually see the first review from the World 101 podcast crew going up on our Facebook page. Should be later this week that's finished up. And I suppose this means at some point I should probably end up writing a reviews guide just so that we have some sort of structure and framework going forward. But I'm thinking this should be not terribly difficult. I'm going to have to do a little homework on putting that together, but we'll get something together so that way, you guys kind of know what to expect from us and kind of get a uniform idea of, what we're presenting, how we're presenting it, and, what it means to you. That being said, also sat down and played a little bit of Runbow this week, and for the record, fuck whoever was running that shit this past week. I'm not mad at you, but I was a little pissed at the situation.
I was dying. I was on the stream dying.
I was pissed. Like, I just picked up a physical copy of Runbow, so I finally got it. Because I've not bought it digitally. I wasn't going to double dip on it. There's not a lot of room left on my Wii U anyways. And my Walmart had a copy for like $20. I'm like, cool.
Nice.
I'll grab it. Done. So I dinked around with a little bit of it. I played maybe a half hour of it and put it down. And then they were doing Runbow Wednesday this week. And I tried to get on. I couldn't get into the room. Finally got into the room. I got to play one go-round of it. And then my fucking Wii U freezes. I try to get back on again. I can't get back on. So I'm on the post on Facebook. And I've got a new room started for when everybody finished, they can just jump into the new room so we can get a full game going again. And then whoever was running it posted on top of me and opened up a new room elsewhere that everybody else went into. And at that point, I was like, you know what? Fuck this shit. It's late. I'm going to bed. Bye.
Wow.
I was a little irked at that one because I was all excited to get to play it with people.
Yes.
And I got to play it for like 7 minutes. So, but for what it's worth, Runbow is awesome. Runbow is fun. I quite like Runbow. Yeah, that's about all that's been happening games wise.
Okay.
I think I've been doing anything else other than just drooling over the Breath of the Wild trailer and Mario Odyssey.
Yes.
Which I think we'll talk about more on Wednesday with Adrian when he's back, because we haven't gotten to really converse on this subject.
Yeah, with him. Yeah.
So yeah, that's about it, I think.
Okay.
We've got a giveaway that we're announcing today.
Well, let's
not huge, but
let's announce that. Let's announce it at the end.
A little bit later.
Yeah, we'll announce that one at the end.
Hear that? We're holding your valuable time hostage, people. You want free shit, you gotta listen.
Yeah, yes. I started up Pegasus Prime. And
yes! Thank God!
And I don't know if I need to play that game with a mouse pad or with a controller, because I was just like, what am I doing?
It was built for a mouse.
So
I will tell you that.
Okay, so then I need to go get a mouse.
It was built for a mouse, because like I said, think back to old PC point and clicks like Myst.
Yes.
It's a mouse game. Granted, you can play it with a controller. When it first came out, there was actually a version of that released on the PlayStation 1 in Japan only. It was supposed to come to the States and never did. But there was a PlayStation 1 version in Japan, so there were controller layouts, designed for that, but I would still play it with a mouse.
With a mouse. Okay.
Plain and simple.
Yeah. And see, I didn't buy a mouse because of the pad that I'm using, but because of what system I have. I'm like, you know what, since this thing is like very sensitive, I'm thinking I'm gonna just pick up a mouse tomorrow and play more of the game. The story looks interesting. I'm glad that it's able to run on my laptop. But I can't wait to get more into it, because it's probably 3 to 5 hours,
give or take, if you know what you're doing. And as far as the story goes, I love the story. I do. They've got some fascinating little tidbits in there if you dig for it.
Mm-hmm.
But in addition, the other two entries into the series, the second and the third game. The second game, the story is also fantastic, but it seems completely unconnected. Aside from the fact it's the same main character. The third game, however, does a beautiful job of stringing these two disparate storylines together into one cohesive and makes you go, holy shit, that was brilliant. Well done. So
yeah. So I'm going to.
I am excited to hear what you think of it. Like I said, I gave you this review because this is something from my childhood.
Mm-hmm.
I want to hear a fresh take on this and how you feel about it. An older game and how it stands up today.
It stands up today. Well, I should once I get my mouse, I will jump back into it. I should have something. I should have it hopefully done by Wednesday. I'm going to try to work on it Tuesday. I'm gonna be busy.
Take your time with it because that's one that honestly I'm not in a huge rush to put up the review on for the very simple fact that I think we're going to work on coordinating that a little better with the release of that on Steam that's coming in the next few months. At which point we're also going to have the some of the fine folks behind that game on the show as well.
Yes. So I must get that done. Another game I've been playing, the Borderlands 2 on PS4, and usually with that I've been trying to level up my character. I did beat it on regular PS3, but I got the Borderlands collection with the pre-sequel and Borderlands 2, so I've just been playing that. I started up The Last Guardian. And goodness gracious, this game looks beautiful. It like the 10 years that they put into developing this game. I'm kind of glad they did put it on PS4 because I think if I would have seen this game on PS3 and it didn't look what it looks like now, I kind of would have been like, this deserves better.
How does it control?
It controls fine, but it takes a while. Because sometimes I just forget like, oh, this button does this button does that. But I'm not having too many problems with Trico just yet. I actually love Trico. I actually love the relationship between him and the boy. And there was one part that just made me laugh and kind of made me fall in love more with Studio Japan. And there's a part where, and this is not spoilers or anything, so it really doesn't pertain anything to the plot or to the story. But there's a moment where you and Trico jump over into the side of this building, and you see another Trico. You see another bird dog, and you kind of wonder what's going on. And next thing you know, later on, Trico is in the water, and he's looking. And he gets down, he starts bathing himself, like rolling around in the water. And the neighbor just like, I thought Trico didn't like water. But, Trico's taking a bath. And the way that it looks like a dog actually bathing in water. And it was so funny. And it just kind of melted my heart for a reason. I was just like, it's simple moments like this, sentimental moments and little quirky comedic moments that look so good that makes this game that just make this game like straight Sony. Like only this could be done on a Sony platform. I don't think anything Nintendo or Microsoft could do this. And it just makes me realize that, man, I kind of wish Studio Japan did more games and got more of the recognition that they could get. Because I sometimes feel like there's a Nintendo quality within them, and they just have a heart for telling stories and making these things just feel so emotional. Color palette, they're green. The way they make nature look and how they use wind is phenomenal, dude. I really am working on finishing the game. But yeah, The Last Guardian is just like, I can't wait to really get to the end of this game and enjoy the adventure that I'm on, because it really is good. Last but not least, I've been playing Ratchet & Clank. I just started that up, so quite fun.
I watched that movie this week.
I fell asleep on it.
I had fun with it. I thought it was cute.
I think I'm gonna have to rewatch it again. I kind of just like, I laid down on my pillow and just listened to the words and then just disappeared into the darkness.
It was cute. It was fun.
I am gonna go back and watch it on Netflix. I am about to start up Pokemon Sun. I'm on the epilogue of Phoenix Wright versus Professor Layton. So I'm on the last part of that. Let's see, Watch Dogs 2. The Division I played for Let's Learn. And got to like the beginning and then cut it off because I did like 5 missions and I was done. But kind of trying to return to that game and see and start a new character, see if I could do something else with it. Other than that, that's all I have. I know Resident Evil 7 and Dragon Quest 8. Well, Dragon Quest 8 I did pick up, but I haven't started. Resident Evil 7 I am picking up Tuesday, but now I'm debating should I go get it at Target or at my job, because Target they have a Resident Evil Funko Pop if you buy the game for free.
If it's your thing, go for it. But
and I forgot that Yakuza 0 comes out, but I don't know if it's physical. Because if it's physical, I need to find the physical copy so I can get that.
Yeah.
But other than that,
this month I'm gonna try and actually finish Skyward Sword before Breath of the Wild comes out. Part of me's torn. Like, I want to finish it before Breath of the Wild, but I'm afraid that if I finish Skyward, I'm going to be Zelda'd out for a while and not want to pick and start playing Breath of the Wild as soon as it's out.
I think you'll be fine.
I just finished a damn Zelda game. I don't want to start another one.
I think you would be fine if you do Skyward Sword. I
have that issue. Like, I played Twilight Princess again, and I finished it, and I started Skyward Sword, and I got about half a dungeon in and stopped. And I'm like, I need to stop doing Zelda for a while. I'm Zelda'd out.
If it was Metroid, on the other hand, you could just do a complete marathon and want to get bored.
Yeah, that usually happens about once a year. While I will play through every game in the series.
Well, now that you have AM2R, would you do both Metroids, the Game Boy one and the remake?
I would. Whenever I do that, though, I don't do the NES one anymore. That gets straight up replaced with Zero Mission.
Zero Mission? Okay.
But I can still go back to the Game Boy one. That one I'm okay with. But the NES one is a huge pain in the ass to me.
Like I said, I still haven't beaten the first one.
Get on it, dude. That shit takes like 3 hours.
I know, I should. And I got like 17,000 iterations. And even though, look, even when I bought a Metroid Prime and I unlocked it, I still didn't beat it on the GameCube. I'm like, I should be able to beat this game right now. It should be a quick fix.
No, it unlocked the original NES one. Don't play the original NES one. Play Zero Mission.
Oh, Zero Mission I beat so many times. Like,
yeah, then you have no reason to go back and play the original NES one. Play the Game Boy one. Don't play the NES one.
I think the original one is because I started it up so many times, but I just didn't get through the whole game. Like that's one of them I didn't beat in Metroid 2. Don't give me that eye. I'm looking at you just in case. This guy, because
no. It's not you. I'm just yawning, and it's not because I'm bored. It's just because it's late and I've got shit to do still.
Oh no! I still haven't. I just said I still haven't beat Metroid 2. So
yeah, that's the one you need to finish. Like I said, dude, that shit'll take you 3 hours.
Yeah, but I think most of all, well, I had to finish Echoes. I finished Prime and I finished Corruption. Echoes, I got to the last boss and didn't beat. It was one of those, I just need 2 hits off of you and I got enough energy to defeat you. What the heck, camera? I'm dead. And it's just like, dang it. So, yeah, I think that's the only Metroid that I actually need to beat. I think I beat most of, besides one and 2 and Echoes, I think most of the series are already caught up. And AM2R, I need to work on. I need to start.
Yeah, finish 2 and then just go straight to AM2R just as a point of comparison.
Yeah, that interview, dude, that was just...
For the record, I am not the one that brought up AM2R this time. Not my fault. I was actually going to go the whole show without fucking talking about it. You did this.
I know, but that interview last week, if you guys have not checked it out, go to shoutengine.com and check out World 101 podcast. Listen to that discussion. I was listening to it yesterday, and man, it was just such an awesome time talking to those two. Just the ups and downs that they went to, and just cannot wait for their next game. I really hope they work together again and come and bring out their own first game.
Just a follow up on that, by the way. I know that Steve mentioned that his hope would be to one day get to talk even just off the record with a Nintendo employee and just gush over Metroid that loves it as much as he does. A side note or a follow up to that, we helped make that happen. I was able to actually make that happen. I got him in touch with an actual Nintendo employee that has just as much love for it as he and I do, and said, "Here you go."
Ooh, nice.
So, able to give back.
Yay! We give back to the community that gives to us. Or something like that.
Oh, you know what I realized? We got a third giveaway that we've got coming up this year, too. That I can think of right off the top of my head.
So we got three on the way.
We got one that we're going to be starting up tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we'll let that run for a week. And then I think next week we've got another one involving She Remembered Caterpillars. And then probably a couple months down the line, we've got another one coming up. So, but yeah, we got some shit to give away finally.
Yay! Giveaways. We still got to start posting more free stuff for people to get.
It's been real quiet on that front lately.
Yeah, I've been.
It's been real quiet on that front. I love getting to post up the free game alerts, but holy shit, it has been quiet lately. Ain't nothing been happening.
Yeah, I know PSN has a $5 flash game up until Tuesday. But dude, I looked at it and I was just like, I own most of this stuff. Like,
right.
And so, if you are listening to this on Monday, you guys can check it out. If not, hopefully they do another flash sale this Friday again. Cause I was wondering when Sony was going to do one. Cause I like catching their flash sales on the weekends. Like, and sometimes they mostly drop like on the days I get paid. So I'll be like, yay, I go get something. Yeah. So
I'm also looking forward to tax time because I think I might actually finally break and get a PS3. I skipped it altogether, and there's some stuff on there that I'd like to actually put in my library and get to play as well that I didn't get to play. Like, I got to play God of War 3 because I borrowed a friend's PS3, a number of years ago when that came out. So I actually got to finish that series. But I'd like to revisit that and actually get that in my collection. But there's a few others that I never actually got around to playing that I think I'd like to play. So I think that might happen come tax time just because that's reasonably on the cheap.
Is it mostly games that wasn't on 360?
Yeah. It's stuff that was PS3 only.
PS3 only. Okay. Because, I have my PS3 collection is still bonkers. I have a lot of games. Some of them were on 360, but some of them weren't on 360 when they came out. So,
anything I get for the PS3 when I pick one up is going to be stuff that I couldn't get elsewhere.
Yeah, and I think you can find one for cheap, like a used copy. It shouldn't be too hard.
No, I can hit up a local store and find one used for a reasonable price.
Yeah, I think some people are shockingly some people are still on the lookout for Wii U's right now.
Yep. Well, and you know what? I don't fault them. It's the end of the life cycle. Pretty much everything is out. You've got Zelda to look forward to still. But other than that, in the meantime, there's a fuck ton of great stuff. Like, my Wii U library is actually reasonably sizable. Probably a good 15, 20 actual physical copy games sitting in my Wii U library.
I think I got
and then on top of that, I've got a great big pile of digital stuff, too.
Yeah, me too.
And that's not even counting some of the other stuff that I still have intentions of picking up copies of for my Wii U that I haven't.
Yeah, and even if you don't have a huge library for it, a lot of those Wii U games are long.
Yeah. There's
So,
some reasonably lengthy stuff out there.
right. And trying to get everything, like 100% of it, that's going to take you a good while.
Oh yeah,
And
it's a worthwhile system.
And I'm kind of surprised. And you know what? For this console generation, I'm kind of glad that Metroid didn't come out. I think there's going to be. I think to make a good Metroid game, you really need time to develop it. And I'm not speaking about Federation Force. I'm speaking more of a Metroid game. So whether you do it 2D or 3D, you really need time to lay out the designs and hopefully make a story that makes sense. And yes, I'm still hyped about your Dark Metroid. I still want that so bad. Like,
oh, my pitch for Dread,
yeah. That I'm just like, I wish this. I wish God heard this and then put it in somebody's mind in Japan and Nintendo okayed it, because I'm like, I will buy that day one. But I think on Switch, with Nintendo Switch, I think Metroid is going. Hopefully, it comes out at least for Switch. I would love to.
Has it? There was an interview with Reggie where he said, we're listening, we do read the boards, we hear you, and he specifically said, speaking of Metroid and Mother 3, said, talk to us in a year, and we'll revisit this and see where things are at, because I suspect you'll see that some things have happened within a year.
You know what? I've been asking a lot of people this. The Switch can be the Super NES Part 2, and if it is, that it's a system that a lot of Japanese developers are making tons of games and great games, and we as American gamers are buying it. If that happens, what does that say about us and Western third-party developers? Like, if we don't never get an EA game on Switch, do you think that we would care? But if Namco or Sega be like, guess what, guys, we're bringing out a new F-Zero, and we go cuckoo bunkers, like, and we make that game a hit or something, or just like Mega Man finally returns to 2D and it's on Switch. Like, if we start supporting a lot of Japanese companies for the Switch and they just turn it to like a modern Super Nintendo, and third party, we just forget for Western, like, what happens? Like, what do you think?
I would like to see Switch start the resurgence of 16-bit, because you know what? For the last 4 or 5 years, maybe longer than that, we've had a phenomenal resurgence in 8-bit styling of games. I would like to see that gear now more towards the 16-bit. I want to see it delve more into those more detailed sprites and, some finer points in there. I think that would be wonderful. I would love to see that progression happen again. And there's some stuff out there that's done it, but overall, it's geared more towards the NES 8-bit simpler side. I would love to see that push towards a 16-bit styling again.
Is that more for indies doing it, or just more indies?
Stuff like Shovel Knight felt geared more towards the 8-bit era than it did 16-bit.
Yeah.
We saw NES release the NES Classic Mini. It's all 8-bit. A lot of the stuff that's come out, is, like I said, it's geared into that 8-bit style. Even if it's not, abiding by 8-bit rules 100%, it's very distinctly 8-bit flavored. I'd love to see it come up to 16-bit, where they push the music design a little more to fall into that 16-bit era, where they push the aesthetics into that 16-bit era.
Yeah, because I agree with you. I'm with you with that, because I would love to see something like a 16 remake Contra or Gunstar Heroes, like from an indie developer. I would love to see the beat 'em up genre from the 16-bit days to come back, like some 16-bit, some coin op kind of looking stuff. Doesn't have to be really fancy. We know that they could push polygons on that system, but they could still make it in that retro style. And if it feels like a 16-bit game that we could go and talk about and be like, oh, I remember doing that. Like, I'm so down for that.
Oh, speaking of old things new again, I had a brilliant idea, and we'll throw this under the heading of here's the pitch, because it's not entirely fleshed out, but it's a thought, and I've been kicking around going, I would buy that. I would love that. So, and I'm a little baffled that I haven't heard anybody else mention this, actually. I've watched for it. I've watched for somebody else to have this idea, thinking I cannot be the only person, but apparently I fucking am. So I'm looking at the Switch, and I'm going, you know what would be brilliant? Remember those old, barroom arcade machines where the monitor was literally like faced up to the ceiling, and you could set your fucking beer down on the top, and you'd sit across from the other person, and it was a 2-player game.
Uh-huh.
I want a compilation of those on the Switch, because I could sit there and hold it longwise with the other person on the other side with the other Joy-Con, and we could be sitting there facing each other, looking down at this thing, playing.
So, like, you have a Switch and I have a Switch, and...
Oh, we're sharing the same Switch, motherfucker. We are literally standing. I'm holding one side of it. You're holding the other side.
So, you got one Joy-Con and I got one Joy-Con?
Yeah. And it's attached to the tablet. So we're sitting there and we're both looking down at this thing just like you.
Oh, okay. I see what you're talking about.
Got it.
Okay, that is reverse. So we're looking down we're looking at it top-sided, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, I see what you're talking about. That the Joy-Cons are connected. I'm thinking that we're okay, yeah.
I'm sitting here going, how has nobody else thought about this yet? I have not seen this idea crop up anywhere.
Oh my goodness. Someone get on the Geometry Wars. That's the first thing that comes to my mind. Be like, dude, a 2-player versus Geometry Wars to see who could get the most points.
I would love to see Geometry Wars make another go around again.
Well, they got some kind of Geometry Wars game that came out. I cannot think of it, but
Geometry Wars 3 was the last one that came out. But there was one on the Wii and the 3DS. That was Galaxies.
Yeah, and see, something came out for PS3, PS4 and Xbox One. That's the Geometry
that was
Wars.
Geometry Wars 3.
But it's a physical copy.
Yeah.
But it doesn't say 3 on it.
Yes, it does.
It says something else.
Dimensions. Yeah, I have it. I have a copy of it.
Is it like purple
Geometry Wars 3 Dimensions.
Is it like purple and
purple and green? Yeah.
You had the box with you, or did you get it digitally?
Yeah, right. You keep talking.
Okay, yeah. And so Larry's gonna go show me how it looks, cause yeah, I can see that, and I will be so down for that. And there is a lot of games that came out like that. Yeah, that's it. That's the one. Yes.
There's a 3 in the corner. Fool.
Okay. I keep missing the 3. Every time I see it, it just says Geometry Wars Dimensions Evolve. I keep missing the 3. It's like
it's a little tiny number up in the corner, but it's there. I swear to God, it's Geometry Wars 3.
Okay. Is that just an updated version or anything?
No, it's a full blown sequel. They did some really cool new shit with it.
Okay, because I didn't know if it was just a regular Geometry Wars 3, and then it's just an upgrade.
No, I would wholeheartedly recommend buying it. It's actually really good.
Okay.
It's totally worth the $15-$20 you'd spend on it.
I didn't even know that. I mean, I knew that was a copy that was physical, but I didn't know that was the actual 3. I thought they put the regular 3 on 360. And
they released it on 360 as well. It's just the Xbox One version looks a little prettier.
Okay. So it's just not. Yeah. So it's just a digital and physical copy. But this is the actual 3, like the actual sequel. Okay. All right.
Yep. Plenty of good stuff to be had there.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that, dude. I literally would. Oh goodness.
Just call it the Barcade Collection.
the Barcade
Because
collection.
that's where you found those things, was in bars and like dark pizzerias, darkly lit pizzerias that serve beer by the pitcher, and yeah, I would totally be down for that. That would be fantastic.
I would, yeah, because I'm just like it's arcade style.
Like that setup is perfect.
Yeah, it's arcade style. It'll be easier to control because we're not hovering too much on the screen, but we got a nice clear screen to see each other. Yeah, I'm down for that. I would love that. Dang it,
there you
Larry.
go. There's our here's the pitch for the week, and actually that's one of two. There's another one that I'm waiting for Adrian to come back on Wednesday for, because I was actually listening through some old episodes as I was getting some stuff updated for Shout Engine. And I realized that the original idea that I threw out there that started Here's the Pitch actually got cut off that audio file. So it never actually made it onto the show, and so it was never put out there. And I know exactly what it was. And so when Adrian's on, because it was aimed directly at Adrian, so when Adrian joins us on Wednesday, I will totally rerun that idea.
Here's the pitch again. The technology has gotten better. The sound quality has finally reached. We did what we had to do with what we had to work with, but now we should be good to go. We'll probably still have more audio issues, but it is what it is, and we're working hard to get better, to be a bit more professional, even though we're still that train wreck that you guys always love.
Yep.
But with that, everybody, that's our show. We won't keep you guys long. We hope that you guys are having a good week, having a good weekend.
Them. I'm worried about me. I got shit to do.
Oh wow. I'm trying to. I love you so much. I love you so much. But before we go,
short episode, but you guys get another one this week. So
yay.
Fuck off.
But before we go, Larry, let them know what our contest is.
I won't call it a contest. I'm not going to make you work that hard for it. But we have a wonderful giveaway this week because Amazon done fucked up and sent me the little backstory is that I ordered a lovely beanie hat off of Amazon, and it was supposed to have been here like a month ago. And it took for fucking ever, well past when it was supposed to be here. I called Amazon and they're like, yeah, the guy that you bought it from disappeared off of Amazon like a day or two after you bought it, and we're showing that it was never shipped. And so I'm like, really? You fuckers couldn't have told me this? I've been sitting here waiting for this hat for a fucking month and a half. So they refund my purchase, and I go back in and I reordered it. Well, about a week after that, the original hat that I ordered showed up, and then yesterday, the replacement hat showed up. So I've got an extra. It's this wonderful little black beanie, and it's got a very simplified, minimalistic, embroidered silver Metroid right on the front there.
Nice.
I'll post a picture of it, and all we're asking is that you guys share the post and like our page on Facebook, and in a week I will pick a winner and I will reach out. But I will put up a post specifically for the giveaway with a picture of the hat that you can win, and I will happily ship it wherever the fuck you live. So yeah, that's a thing.
Yay!
With a free adorable Metroid hat.
Yay.
Because Amazon fucked up.
Amazon, you done messed up.
So like I said, it's nothing huge, but you know what? It's free shit. Who doesn't like free shit? Have some free shit, guys. We love you.
Yay! I just ordered the console wars for Amazon, so I'm waiting for that to come in. Can't wait to start reading that one. But Larry, where can we find you?
Facebook. Hit up our page, click the like button, get our content in your feed. We are on Shout Engine now. This will be one of the last, not quite the last, but one of the last episodes that goes up immediately on archive as well. Mm-hmm. Just given all the crap that happened there. I will post one or two more episodes, in a timely fashion to archive. Just
probably the bonus one should be
still listening there. This is your fair warning that in a couple of weeks the archive will no longer be getting regular updates. It'll get maybe a once a month, once every 2 months, content dump. But all the regular, update stuff is happening on Shout Engine. With any luck, if everything goes right, finally, iTunes should be up by the end of the week, and you can find it there as well. And I know I keep running my mouth about it, but I'm about ready to pull the trigger on YouTube as well. So it's coming. We're piecing it together a little at a time. And in about 5 years, when we're still doing the show, I'm going to be re-listening to this episode going, holy fuck, I took forever to get that done.
And you can find us.
It's going slowly because we want to make sure that we get it off the ground right.
And you can find us on Twitter at World1_1 podcast. You can email the show at world11podcast@gmail.com. WORLD11podcast@gmail.com. You can find me on Twitter at that retro code, and you can find my podcast Optional Opinion at the Anomalous Radio Network.podbean.com, SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play, and other podcast apps. And of course, you could just find me around the internet. I'm on various podcasts, Team Nerd, DNA. You can find me there. Podcast Connected, Nintendo Power Block, and Nintendo Pod Sessions. You can find me there. Just follow me on Twitter at that retro code to learn more. If you want to friend me on Facebook, Edward Varnell, you can find more of my content there. I do writings for DNA and on IGN.com for Optional Opinion under anime. And I think I'm going to just leave it at that, because I know Wednesday on our bonus episode, we're going to have a good discussion, a good review discussion. And Adrian will be back on. It will be good to finally hear him, because I want to see if he had listened to the AM2R episode and hear how him and Milton almost sound the same. I'm just like, y'all sound just the same. I swear. So with that, everybody, we will see you Wednesday. You will actually have
Thursday.
We will see you Thursday for that episode, and we will be back recording to our normal schedule Sunday. Hopefully Adrian once again can join us. And with that, everybody, we are out. Bye.
Good night.